Good afternoon. I'm Mariana Reyes, and today I'll be talking about the high school Columbine shooting. In April 20, 1999, one of the most outrageous massacres happened in Littletown, Colorado. Being such a small suburban town, this outbreak brought worldwide attention. Columbine High School and the students attending there were the targets for Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, both seniors there at Columbine High. Then later became the world's most wanted. They killed 12 students, 1 teacher, and injured 21 people. I ask myself, what type of human can have the heart to hurt so many people? Dylan and Eric were both friends and grew up together as children. They both attended the same middle school as well, becoming best friends entering high school. They both spent time with each other on the daily because they have worked in the same place, a pizza parlor where they both were hired. Dylan and Eric both influenced one another. Influencing each other was bad in their case. As they entered high school, they had difficulty joining groups and making friends. The boys were different from the students, which was the reason why they weren't popular. The kids there would bully them, and the jocks would too. All of that unfortunately led Dylan and Eric to grow hate and anger towards them. Klebold and Harris were angry teenagers. They were not angry at the athletes that made fun of them, or Christians, or blacks, and some people reported them. They basically hated everyone except a handful of people. The tension they had towards the bullies just escalated over time. They sat there and came up with a plan nobody expected them to think of, causing the most deadliest high school massacre in American history. They decided to go on a killing rampage to those who gave them hard times throughout high school. It had been told Eric and Dylan looked and believed in things differently from others, which excluded them. We were told we're members of the campus group of losers and Marilyn Manson worshipping gods called the Trench Coat Mafia, who had few friends and attracted only derision from the cool kids. Violent video games were a big impact on the massacre. Violence in the media was also examined when it came out to Harris and Klebold were fans of Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein 3D, and violent movies such as Natural Born Killers. These violent actions that were made in the video games only made them think it would be easy for them to do it in real life. Harris began hosting a website where he posted homemade levels of Doom, a first-person shooter game which was notorious for the graphic violence and gore. Also of Quake. They were racist against evangelical Christians and African Americans. The reason why they specifically chose April 20th in honor of Hitler's birthday. Their ideal reason for all the chaos wasn't to get revenge for those who they didn't like. They planned to blow up the whole school. It was a natural debate on the bullying. Eric Harris was a natural-born psychopath, the man who only wanted nothing but control in his hands. Harris was who convinced the attacks was more than just trouble. Psychologists now say a cold-blooded, predatory psychopath, a smart, charming liar with a preposterously exciting need of control. Harris had a very different way of viewing things from Klebold. In Eric's journal, he drew swastikas and many demonic characters. He felt to be superior over everyone. Quote, I feel like God and wish I was having everyone being officially lower than me. The day of the massacre, Eric wore a shirt that said natural selection that morning. Dylan was the opposite from Eric. He wasn't full of hate, power, or revenge. Dylan, on the other hand, was anxious and lovelorn, summing up his life at one point in his journal. He also saw himself as a dangerous and undesirable individual. He drew many hearts and crosses in his journal to represent fate. Later, Dylan began to fall into depression and made himself think that nobody liked him and the world was against him. That only made him paranoid